Hey, what's going on? This is Brian Pickowicz, and today we're going to talk about how to build an unstoppable morning routine. And so if you are looking to transform your lifestyle, if you're looking to really get into a position where you can move yourself forward with different habits and actions, our morning routine is really the anchor towards the person that we want to become. And it makes sense. The reason why it does is because the rest of our day is truly about giving, whether that's giving our time, giving our energy, giving our mental bandwidth, whether you have a family, you have employees, you have other people in your job or in your career. There's a lot of obligations that each one of us have. And what happens is it's really challenging to set the intention to go through the whole day and then start to improve on the things that matter to us. Whereas if we set the intention in the morning, not only are we slated to have a more productive day because we're aligned, we've already taken care of ourselves, we feel better energetically, whether that's working out or meditation, or we're in a position where we've already chopped off some of the intentions that we had. So the things that we had for goals, the targets that we wanted to move forward on, we've already been able to mark those things down. And that creates this momentum where we know that we're doing productive actions. If you think about your day, maybe you're someone like me, the way I used to be. I would wake up and I would be almost in chaos. I would wake up, my alarm clock would go off, I'd have to run and put my clothes on. I'd either be going to work or I would be going to class when I was in college. And it wasn't until I started to create a morning routine that I realized that I could rework and shift so many different patterns and habits in my life that everything started to change. And so my intention with this video is to give you 7 different points that will help you transform your morning routine and become unstoppable. And now I know that sounds exciting. You might be thinking, oh Brian, this is just a motivational thing. But the truth is that if you look at any high performer or any person who's really creating waves in their life or has created waves in their life, my expectation and the chances are they have a solid morning routine. Now, you could reference a book like Tools of Titans from Tim Ferriss, which dives into some of the habits and routines of high performers in the world, or you could just look at someone that inspires you. So for instance, some people that I looked up in this process were Tim Cook. So Tim Cook is the CEO of Apple, and Tim Cook's morning starts on Sunday night. So Sunday night he sits down at 8 p.m. and he aligns everything for the week. He sits down and he really understands, like, okay, what are the intentions for this week? And then from there, he wakes up 3:45, 4 o'clock the next day, gets a great workout in, meditates, get everything together, and then starts to push forward on the goals that he has with his company. Another great example is Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk wakes up and has a solid workout, spends time reading the news, and then connects with his family. And then when he's going to work, he calls one of his family members or a friend just to connect with them and let them know how they're doing and tell them that they love them. And he grounds himself in gratitude through that process. Or one other person I was looking up when I was doing this was looking at Oprah Winfrey. So very intrigued by Oprah because of what she's been able to create throughout her life and really being a pioneer when it comes to the first African-American female in her category in entertainment to go and become a billionaire, and just really the amount of impact she has on the world is groundbreaking and awe-inspiring. And her morning routine starts with no alarm clock. She just sets the time in her mind for when she wants to wake up. Of course, we can't all be Oprah. But then she spends time exercising, walking with her dogs, and connecting with nature. And then lastly, she meditates and has a spiritual practice that helps her center herself. Now, what's the point of this all? Am I saying that you have to go do those things or wake up at 4 a.m. or have any of those different marks? No, not at all. But one of the most effective ways to start to build new habits is to get leverage on our old habits. And a lot of times when we have old habits that we want to rework, one of the most fundamentally altering ways to do it is to see that we're starting off our day with momentum. And we start our day off with momentum by having a morning routine that calls us to become the person that we want to be. Whether that's exercise, whether that's goal setting, whatever it is for you, I want to create a simple process that will help you align on your morning routine and really start to reshape the way that you're approaching the rest of the day. So the first thing is very basic, very simple, but not very easy. And that is identify who you want to become. Now, this might seem esoteric, but the truth is until we decide who we want to become and what life we want to live, none of the other practices are going to matter, because you can start saying, okay, I'm going to exercise. But if you don't have the intention of why you want to exercise, if you don't have that deeper seated purpose inside you that you're like, okay, I'm going to exercise because I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight because I want to have more energy. I want to have more energy because I want to be a fit and healthy person and be able to experience life. It's like, yes, that is an intention that will allow you to become a fit person. But if you think about just trying to wake up and willpower your way through a workout, that's not really intentional. It doesn't have anything that's grappling. But another example is like if you think about trying to read more, maybe you want to start reading more. Maybe you want to start and have a routine of reading. But if there's not really something that you're passionate about learning, then I can guarantee that that habit will not stick, because it's not enticing to you as someone who is becoming more knowledgeable in fitness and wellness and in your business and your career and your personal development. Or maybe you want to literally learn about artificial intelligence or tech or whatever your thing is. But we have to start with our why. And I know that sounds cliche. I know you've probably seen the Simon Sinek conversation about it, but if we start with why, then we can articulate and develop a pattern of everything else. And the cool thing is once we have that framework and we start to build habits off of it, we start to show up as the person that we want to be in every walk of our life. And so once we have that vision, once we have that purpose aligned, the second thing is start with 1 to 3 different actions and make them simple. So the reason why we want to start with 1 to 3 actions is because a lot of times we're like, okay, well, I want to make this change in my life. I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to train. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to read. I'm going to do all these different things. And we put so much on our plate that we can't even finish the simple part that is actually there. And then what happens is we've linked our value, our purpose, our progress to so many different things that when one thing falls down, everything else starts to fall too. A good example is I want to show you these books. So I have about 40 books here, 40 to 50 books, and I'd say I've read about 85% of these books. Some of them are Lindsay's, so I'm not going to take ownership of them. But these are all books that I've read over the last year and a half. Why do I tell you that? Because I can single-handedly pick out 2 to 3 books that are on the shelf that I read prior to that 2 years. I never read. I never used to be a reader. And the reason why is because I would tell myself, in order for me to build the habit of reading, I have to be like Warren Buffett, or I have to be like all the internet gurus out there that I saw. People who are reading a book a day, a book a week. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start this habit and routine. I'm going to read a book a week. I'm going to do it. I'm going to read a chapter a day, and it's going to crush it, and it's going to be amazing, and I'm going to really get empowered about it. But 2 things happened that stopped me. First thing is I was a really slow reader, and it stopped me because I hated the process of reading a page, looking at being like, what the heck did I just read? And at the same time, I would pick books that weren't exciting to me, and then I would judge myself for not being a better reader. And so I was like, okay, well, these goals aren't helping me. These goals aren't empowering to me, so I stopped reading. And it wasn't until I actually sat myself down and said, okay, I'm going to make this simple. I'm going to make it really, really basic. I'm going to start with just reading 5 pages a day in the morning. I'm going to write down my goals, and I'm going to meditate. That was my morning routine. Just that. It took me about 20 minutes. I would meditate for 5 minutes. I would write down my goals for the day, and then I would read. Simple. Very, very simple. Actionable steps. But they were things that I could actually do. And so if you want to exercise, amazing. Maybe it's you exercise and you meditate, or you exercise and you write down your goals for the day, or you exercise and you read, or you exercise and you make your bed. Whatever it is, if you start with something that's actionable and you only make 1 to 3 little things, you're going to get momentum. And the cool thing about habits is they act like compound interest. So our habits start from here. And then as we get to do them, we get to build them, they grow. And then they grow. and they grow, and they have a ripple effect, because then they start to impact everything else in our lives. And then we start to make different decisions. So if you exercise in the morning, it has a direct impact on the decisions that you make with your nutrition, with your energy, with your confidence. You've already checked the box for the person that you want to become. And so that simple decision makes it easier to follow through on everything else. And so the next thing is make it easy. So if you want to exercise, make it a kind of exercise that's not going to take you 2 hours to do. Make it a 45-minute workout. Make it a 15-minute workout. Make it easy. And so that might be as simple as, okay, I'm going to start the habit of a morning routine. I'm going to go for a walk. Now that might not be the most perfect thing. You might be thinking, oh wow, it's just a walk. I could do more than that. Great. If you do more than that, kudos. Even better. But if we make it easy, we allow ourselves to actually follow through. So the reason why I love to meditate is because it's easy. I mean, that's not the only reason, but I'll say that was why I picked it as a habit, is it centered me and it was easy. I started, made my bed, meditated, and wrote my goals. Those were my first morning routines when I first started my business after I graduated college. And I was like, what am I doing? I have no disciplines, needed something simple, needed something easy. I didn't overwhelm myself, made that simple habit, and everything else followed through. And so once we have the 1 to 3 actions, once we've made it easy, the next thing is set yourself up the night before. And so if you're in a position where you're like, okay, well, I want to exercise in the morning, take your clothes and put them near your phone. Take your phone and put it in the other room. Move your phone so that you have to get up out of bed and you can't hit snooze. I was talking to someone recently, like, how do I stop snoozing? Okay, well, where's your phone? I leave it right next to my head. First off, that's awful because your brain is active all day because your phone is actually working off the frequencies in your house. But we'll put that aside. Maybe you're scrolling, even worse, because now you're not in a position where you can fall asleep and your brain's engaged. But if you sleep with your phone next to your bed, how simple is it to just roll over and go boop, snooze? If you make it set in the night before where you're like, okay, clothes are out, I'm going to work out in the morning, they're right next to my phone. My phone's on the other side of the room. I've set myself up so in the morning, I know I have to take action. I know I have to follow that state. And it makes it so much easier to follow through. And it could be a book, it could be a journal. Find some way to set yourself up the night before, and it will allow you to actually take that action to follow through. And so the next thing is be patient. So this is interesting. And I'm going to dive into this thought because I am all about discipline. I truly believe that discipline gives us freedom, as Jocko Willink would say, and until we have certain disciplines established in our life, we can't break through the mold of the person that we are. But at the same time, I'm not in a position of aggressiveness when it comes to discipline, because I think that discipline is built off of where we're at today. And so if you're someone who's like, oh, I just want to wake up 15 minutes earlier, I want to wake up an hour earlier, I want to wake up 2 hours earlier, whatever your intention is, give yourself the grace of knowing that this isn't just going to happen overnight. So you're not just going to wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm fit and I'm healthy. I'm not saying that. And it's not just about thinking of positive thoughts so positive things happen. But it is about putting yourself in a position to actually give yourself the grace when you're building these habits, because they just don't happen overnight. And so being patient means that if you miss a day, that's okay. It is okay because you have your whole life to build these habits. The same thing as like days when I first started this all. When I first started my morning routine, which has grown so much now. Now I run in the morning and I train and I meditate and I set my schedule and then I answer my emails. Like, I can pack a lot into my morning. But the reason why I can is because in the days where I might have slept in, I didn't say, oh, screw it, I'm just going to start sleeping until 10 a.m. or 8 a.m. I said, no, just like, okay. It wasn't good, move forward. Okay, I didn't get to meditate as long, woke up a little bit later, I was feeling sick, whatever it was. Gonna just take a couple deep breaths in. Just gonna be patient with this process. And I think that society tells you, and there's so many people on the internet who are gonna tell you to be motivated and be disciplined and just follow through. But give yourself the grace and the patience to know that this is a process that's gonna take time. And now, the next point is when you follow through, celebrate that. It is a big deal. I hate when people say like, oh, I just woke up and I just went to the gym in the morning. It's not a big deal. It's just one day. It's like, yeah, it is one day. It's one day where you chose to do something better for yourself. And if you choose to do something better for yourself, then you're casting a vote for the continuation of this process. And whatever it is you want to do, you want to be in better shape, you want to be more peaceful, you want to have better energy, you want to build a business, and you know that you have to become more as a person to do that, celebrate the wins that get you there. Like, I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back for doing this video, right? Like, because we're here. And every single thing that we do allows us to move forward. And it's that simple aspect, just being like, yeah, great. Like the rest of the day, I've already trained. I've already made up my meals. I've meditated. I've read. Oh, wow. I read something that 110% is applicable to my situation right now at work. If I didn't read that, if I didn't have that conversation, if I didn't center myself, I never would have been able to experience that feeling that I have in this moment. And that's why having access to discipline in the morning, having a morning routine is so vital to progress, because then every other decision that we make throughout the day is anchored towards the belief that we're changing. We're doing this for ourselves. We're doing this because we're gaining something from it, and we're gaining momentum each and every time that we do follow through. And so give yourself the patience, but also give yourself the reward of feeling good about it, because I just feel like there's so many different people that want to tell you, like, you shouldn't feel good because it's only one day. Now, it's not about bullshitting yourself. It's not about being deceptive and saying like, oh, I did a good deed today so I can go eat cake. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it's about understanding that the simple action of following through is the right step. And so you can celebrate that you're moving in the right direction while still delaying the gratification of knowing that you're not there yet. And those are two separate issues and two separate things that we can do at the same time. You can still feel excited about the direction you're going in while understanding like, hey, I still have so much farther to go, but I'm moving in the right direction. And I don't see anything wrong with it. And I think that that's the anchor towards progress. And so last thing is, in order for you to set an unstoppable morning routine, you have to take ownership of it. You have to take ownership of it that you want to change. Because you can watch this video, you can listen to a motivational speaker, you can listen to a podcast, and you can get hyped up, and you can be like, I'm going to change, and I'm going to be like this person and that person, I'm going to do the thing. But until we take ownership of the challenge in front of us, until we take ownership of what we actually want to create, then there's zero opportunity and zero chance of us actually getting there. And so this process is about ownership. So taking ownership that, hey, in the morning, I'm going to set myself, I'm going to move forward, I'm going to do this. And the reason why is because I believe it's worth it for me. No one else. This is about me making progress and me feeling good about the direction I'm going in. And it's not about being over the top. It's not about beating yourself up if it doesn't happen, but it's about creating space for you to live with intention and have the lifestyle that you want. So these are the 7 different points to help you build an unstoppable morning routine. I hope this is helpful to you, and I'm curious to hear what points you feel like were the most beneficial for you and what your morning routine is going to be like going forward. So comment below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe, and more than anything, just keep moving forward and just remember to be a light and inspire others to believe in more. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.